The Buffalo Bills need to absolutely bury the New Orleans Saints tomorrow in Orchard Park. Bills Mafia, Josh Allen earlier this week was talking about how they've had ugly wins against teams. You look back to that Ravens game, for the first 58 minutes of that game, it did not look like we were going to get the win. The Jets game was a little bit different. We knew we were going to win that one, but the Dolphins won still. It took until later on in the fourth quarter where we were like, okay, they can't come back. Our run game's not giving up anymore. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are slowing down, but tomorrow I think needs to feel different. The New Orleans Saints are coming to Orchard Park. They're 0-3. They're a pretty bad team. Frankly, they might be the worst team in the entire NFL, right next to the Titans, or maybe there's a couple other bad teams there. But the Buffalo Bills are atop the AFC East. They're atop, frankly, the entire league, in my opinion, in the power rankings. They are 3-0, and the Vegas has the Bills as massive home favorites, like 16.5 points the last time I checked. But here's the thing. This game, I don't think, in my opinion, is necessarily just about getting a win in the win column or just escaping a trap game. If you're calling this a trap game, you're insane. There's no way that the Saints are going to beat us. But of course, we can't simulate NFL games. We have to play each and every down, each and every quarter, in each and every game so that we can prove again that we are the best team on the field. But good teams don't just get by, they make a statement. So here's the real question. Will the Bills play like contenders against the Saints, or are they going to leave the door open for, their quarterback or their running back to make big plays on us that are going to keep people doubting the Buffalo Bills? But stick around. We're going to talk about all that today and look at really some of the key matchups and really some of the key pieces of information that I want to see to make sure that we have a confidence of our team, of the Buffalo Bills, going into these next couple weeks, even ahead of the Patriots game next week. We're going to get right into it. But again, my name's Colin. This is Crack the Table. We are all Bills, no breaks. Every single day, I'm dropping Buffalo Bills content. I'd hope you join us. I try to do things maybe a little out of ordinary. Maybe this one's a little stocky, but I'll tell you what. Feel free to join our community. What's your score prediction for this Sunday game? I'll tell you mine later in this video, but feel free to like, subscribe, join our community. I'm trying to answer every single comment. So if you have a comment, or even so, if you want to see a video about a particular player or situation or theme or storyline on our team, let me know in the comments. I'm looking for things to talk about every single day, but I want to get right into it, and I want to look at who is out just to make sure we're all on the same page before we get into some of the nitty-gritty, the fine details here. But we have confirmed that Ed Oliver and Matt Milano are out. AJ Epinesa and Spencer Brown are potentially out. They're questionable. I think they're trending downward. I don't expect them to play. If they don't play, it's a loss temporarily. But again, I care more about being healthy later on the year. We're playing the Saints tomorrow. We're not playing against the Chiefs. If we were playing against the Chiefs or another AFC team that we were worried about or really wanted to get the tiebreaker against them, they'd probably be playing, in my opinion. But for now, they're out. They're not in. But I want to show you this other graphic here. Check out on the screen with me a second. These two stats right here are two different numbers. The one on the one side is all about the rushing yards against us in the league. The one where we're over here on the bottom. We have given up, if you don't know, the most rushing yards in the entire league so far this year. We were giving up like 150 plus yards a game. Now, if you take out the outlier of the Ravens game, we're actually doing decent. Yeah, last week, Ollie Gordon and Devin Achane, they put up some yards against us, but week two, we slaughtered the Jets. Then week one, really against the Ravens, was an outlier. Derrick Henry destroyed us, but he also gave up the game-winning fumble. That's a whole different thing. But Alvin Kamara and the Saints offensive line, they see this. They know that in the middle and on the outside, they can run the ball against us. I'm not going to be surprised when I see Alvin Kamara catch a bunch of passes on the outside and just take advantage of some of our linebackers. He's still a good player. Alvin Kamara is getting older, but again, he is still a good player. But on the other side of this graphic, it shows our third down defense, which is something else that I really want to see out of our team. I'll talk about both our rushing defense and our third down defense in a little bit, and in my predictions, and really how it would make a statement for us. But we've been giving up 43% of third down plays against opposing offenses. That's not good. It's, the league average right now is about 37%. We're about 6% behind that. We're, the bottom third of the pack. And of course, the Saints are 0-3. They are desperate. I think they're going to have a little bit more time to gamble. I think Spencer Rattler is potentially trying to keep his job. The Saints, they got a quarterback in this last year in the draft in the second round, I believe it was, in Tyler Shuck. And you know what? There's going to be times where Spencer Rattler just tries to make things happen to save his job, to save opportunities for him to stay on the field. And so you know what? That means in some ways he might be fearless. If we don't get after him, if we don't bottle up this offense, we might see the Saints scoring some points on us in the third and fourth quarter when it's garbage time for them. But in all of that, this game does need to be a statement in my book. There's a lot of things, we're not really risking it, but when you look at Josh Allen's legacy or even his potential MVP push this year, he needs to have a really big statement game. No turnovers for Josh Allen. Of course, our team is averaging the most yards per game right now at 420, 34-ish points a game, and we're 2-0 at home this season, averaging about 35 points a game. And Josh Allen has 0 turnovers through 3 games. He's been very smart and very efficient. And if he wants a potential consecutive MVP run, then he is going to have to continue that, and he's going to have to play well against bad teams. Again, the whole idea of it's the Saints. They're like a high school team or they're a college team. No, they're not. They've got some really good players on their team, and we are going to need to stop them. Alvin Kamara, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. They're fine players, and they've got some highly drafted players on their team in the last couple of years that are pretty talented. We're going to see what happens. But another guy that we really want to stick out in this game is James Cook. James Cook has already been running almost 5.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, and he is chasing some historic marks as a running back, kind of like he did last year, but even with a little bit more efficiency. But again, the Saints, they're only scoring 17 points a game. They're -4 on the turnover differential. So you could just stamp it and book it right now. We're probably going to win the turnover battle, which of course, we're on 25 consecutive games in a row of winning that, which is amazing. But last week, against the Seattle Seahawks, they give up 44 points. And on paper, this has Bills advantage at every key marker: offense, defense, special teams. It's a chance to remind everybody in the entire NFL that we're not just a team that's good on paper, but we are a team that is a Super Bowl contender and ready to make a title push. But there's 4 things really that I want to see out of our team that would be statement level, just statement level things, right? Our ground game, I think, needs to set the tone. Whether Spencer Brown's in or out, I don't care. Whether it's James Cook running the ball, whether it's Ray Davis later in the second half if we're in a big lead, we need to show a level of explosiveness consistently. I expect James Cook to have 75 to 100 all-purpose yards in the first half. If he doesn't have that, then I'm going to ask what's going on with our offense, to be honest. He has been so efficient and so great, and we should be blowing out a team like the Saints. This is a statement game, not a trap game. But the other one I want to pay attention to, or really key in back to, again, is Josh Allen's efficiency. I think he needs to have 300 yards passing. Maybe the passing numbers come down like they did in week 2 because, we don't need him to pass for a ton of yards and we just grind the clock out with Ray Davis or something like that. But maybe 3 touchdowns, maybe a rushing touchdown for himself, but 0 mistakes. MVP level production. Don't let the turnovers creep in. This team is going to want to gamble on offense and on defense. And so we don't want to start making these or asking these old questions regarding turnovers with Josh Allen. It just needs to be efficient. It needs to be perfect. He needs to play well. But also the next one I want to talk about is this. Our defense just needs to suffocate the run. Alvin Kamara needs to get bottled up, whether they put Kendre Miller in there, whether they choose to do some RPOs or whether they're inside or outside zone running. I don't care. We need to stuff the run. Keep them under 70 total rushing yards as a team. And frankly, keep them under 10 points. I'm looking at this game again, similar to maybe the Jets game. We held them to 3 points most of the game. They had a garbage time touchdown. I'm not expecting them to come out and to throw a bunch of touchdowns or to run for a bunch of touchdowns. I'm expecting them to really struggle against the Buffalo Bills defense early on in the game. And you know what? If they have less than 7 points or less than 10 points, hopefully in the first half, I love that. If we give up a touchdown or a couple field goals later in the game, maybe because of turnover or something, in our field or whatever happens, I don't want turnovers, but if it happens, I'm not gonna throw shade on this defense. This defense, I want them though to hold up strong, to keep the yards per carry lower than 5 frankly, I want it lower than 3 at the end of this game. But if Kamara gets loose, Chris Olave gets loose, or Rashid Shaheed goes deep, like they might score some points on us. We'll see what happens. Again, our special teams, let's get some we've been pretty great on special teams. Matt Prater had a couple missed kicks here and there in the last week, but no mistakes in the kicking game this week for Prater. No costly flags, and maybe even a spark in a return or a punt return or something like that. But again, if the Saints force like some short fieldage, I'm not gonna get all up in arms about the defense. I'm looking at how we're stopping their drives. Do we bottle them up? Do we dominate the time of possession? What is it looking like in this game? Because I want to go into this game, of course, or I want to come onto this game, of course, at 4-0 with the Saints at 0-4 leaving Orchard Park. But at the same time, I want to watch our team play really well down the stretch. If it's sloppy, everyone, again, the national media, everybody included, even us, are just going to look at the team and be like, they still have flaws, and there's only so many times we can give Bobby Babbitt, or so many times that we can give Sean McDermott's defense, a pass, right? If it looks decisive, though, if the team is going up and down the field on offense, if the team is stopping the Saints on defense, and the shift might, go over to Josh Allen, potentially consecutive MVP season, Super Bowl aspirations again for the Bills, but also the key that I'm really watching is our defense. Can we stop a team when it doesn't matter? It's really what it comes down to. But my prediction, I think the Saints are only going to score 10 points, and I think the Buffalo Bills are going to score 30 plus, 34 maybe. 34-10 sounds good to me. That's the type of game that you want to see. And of course, yeah, the Seahawks played better against them last week, but you know what? There's anomalies in that game. But this scoring, maybe 34-10, is the type of score I want to see at the end of the game. But more importantly than the final score, more important than even just like preseason scores, as we talked about those in the offseason, it's about, did our team show up and win matchups, which really carry over game to game, because scoring doesn't just always carry over game to game. So what do you think? Again, what's your score prediction between this matchup, Saints versus Bills, Sunday afternoon? Cook's chasing some records. Josh Allen needs to prove his efficiency and his MVP caliber season round 2. And maybe Bosa has a sack fest. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen in this game. But this is Crack the Table. I'm Colin. We are all Bills, no breaks, bringing Bills content every single day. If you just want to drop a comment and you're just like, hey, I don't really have anything to add to this, just put Go Bills. That's always helpful. I appreciate that. But in all of it, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you to watching to the end. Have a great day. I hope the rest of your Saturday is blessed and that you have an amazing Sunday. Go Bills. Peace out.